Hello and welcome back to my Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes YouTube. We're going to be here bringing you guys teams. So in these teams, I'm going to start off with early game teams, just teams that everybody needs to know. I have votes going on right now in my Discord and stuff. So anyways, whenever we go over these teams, we're going to want to see what do you want to Zeta first, what's needed, what's like needed to be the highest gear, who needs to be relict, you know, whatnot. Now let's get on with this video and let's go see what team we're doing today. Welcome to our first team in this series, and it will be Bounty Hunters. Now, this faction itself is just useful for so many different things, and I could go on and on about, hey, they do assault battles, hey, they do credit heists, hey, they're used for Jabba the Hutt, hey, they're used for Executor, they could do this, they could do that. But honestly, I want to focus right now, I want to just focus on why is this team good, why does it work, where can I use it, what do I do, what do I need for Zetas, relics, so on. So the pure basis of it is pilots are important. No matter what, arena fleets is going to be one of the most important things because you just get crystals all day, every day, and so is GAC, right? This team could be used for both. It's great. They have their own credit heists, like I mentioned just a second ago, that you're getting money, you can only use them. And there's also scoundrel things, and scoundrels and bounty hunters, they have a lot of things that tie in together because a lot of them are bounty hunters and scoundrels, like Boba. See, scoundrel, bounty hunter, so pretty good. But main thing is for this team, I'm getting it early because Executor, but no matter what, you should be getting these up early because they're just good and they're needed for credit heist and they're good in GAC. So let's get on to the team. This is our first basic team, and why do we have him, right? We have him because Bosk is the leader, he has one of the best ships. His leader Zeta is what makes the team very deadly on defense in GAC. You could even use them on offense, obviously. They could go both ways, but this making them so tanky and get their recovery back is just so annoying, especially for Bosk that's just sitting there taunting and just being a big old wall. Now, Boba, he's there just for you want to get his ship up anyways. He has a nice big AoE silence. He does have his execute, which once he kills them, they cannot be revived, which is nice. Grief Karga is just the support of the team. He gets to be invisible, just very annoying. So whenever he puts up his retribution here for the team, all these guys are doing a lot of damage. So just giving them extra survivability and a cleanse, along with all this damage, is just so much. Along with, obviously, he has his team up attack that's nice too. Him and Boss both have a team up attack as the supports. Everybody else is just in there spitting out damage. Mando, very good unit, obviously. Everybody knows him for his, you're going to pay out, and you're going to one-shot something, you know? But to one-shot, you need to make sure you have critical chance up, which is comes in here, and here we need to be able to crit, so we're getting crit on him, right? The last member of the team is Django, and he's honestly here in my team and most beginner teams for the fact that he has this node. Plus, he can solo the Padme event if you put him with the correct units, and by the correct units, I mean Newt Gunray. But if you want to solo the event, I think you need his Zeta. Is it here? No. Where's his Zeta at? Is it this one? Yeah, you need the Zeta. I forgot where it's at, but you need the Zeta that makes it to where whenever he's with Separatists, he's going to have 2-turn damage immunity, which is really good for that event and that event only. So, for first, what's our priority in this one, right? So, our priority is, it's going to be this guy first. His ship is the greatest thing. His leader is needed, and tanks in general will usually get a lot of value from relics. Like, if you noticed, a lot of the GL relics, they're usually tank ones that get relic to 9, because you get a lot of health and protection, and that's what's important later on, you know. So, for right here, Bosk, I would say he would be the first one I would have to get up, and the first one I would have to get to relics for this. And the very first Zeta for this team is going to be right here. And honestly, this is the only Zeta you really need, but there's another Zeta I'm going to say later on that's very useful too, as well as Bosk having another one. But this lead Zeta is needed or else the team does not function. So here's the other Zeta I would say you could apply because of Bosk just refreshing his taunt. Refreshing his taunt is so important, and he just needs to keep that taunt up. Like I said, everybody else in this Bounty Hunter team is just a bunch of damage. So if he doesn't have this taunt going up, it could be a problem. Now on Bosk, all you really want is just a bunch of health, tenacity, defense, whatever you could really find, but he also needs to be fast. Now, in the future, I'll have a speed set on him, so it'll be 4 speed and then it'll be 2 health or 2 tenacity. Right now I don't have that. I'm new. There's not much I can do. Like, this is terrible, right? every mod here should have some speed on it. That's what we'd be looking for. So my boss, not the best example right now, but make sure we got to get a lot of speed, health, protection, and defense. So just make sure you find those defensive stats with some tenacity along the way, because he will be taunting. They will try to buff strip him. So just make sure you're taking care of your boss. He needs a lot of things, but the unit is just so worth it because of him, his leader, and the ship. Just very good unit. So second here, Boba. Boba, he's needed to be Relic 8 for Jabba. He's also needed to be Relic for somebody else, I think. But main thing is Relic 8 for Jabba. So you're going to have to get him up anyways. I think we need him Relic for Executor. That's what it is. So I'm going to be working on him quick. He's crit damage and crit chance because you just want him to spew out damage with this. And his double attack, very, very nice. I'm broke with Omegas. But his execute is very good whenever it finishes them because they can't be evaded and they can't be rezzed. So it's very good. And his payout is just going to give him more and more damage, which is nice. The speed's cool, but the defense penetration is huge for him. So you could just one-shot something with this right afterwards. But Boba, mainly you want him with a little bit better gear than this, obviously. Like, obviously I'm not going to have great gear. Sorry, new account. But a lot of the substats you want is just obviously speed and crit rate. Speed, crit rate, offense would be great. A little bit of potency mixed in. Like right here, this isn't the worst. Like I don't have speed, obviously, so I'm never going to use it. But offense and potency, great for him, you know. So very mishmash, not great mods, you know. And to be fair, my mods aren't that great on them because they're not my main team I use right now. They're my fleets. So I just make sure to put whatever I can on them that's good enough so it makes them strong for the fleet. This guy is very, very strong. I would say he's the second most important on the team. I think a lot of people would. He does so much for the team that he just gives them the support that they need, or else they would just be all dying in 2 shots. So on him, once again, I would want a speed set. You want to make him as fast as possible. That's kind of the thing with any support characters, but you want to make sure he's as fast as possible so he has more turns to get around to his cleanse or more turns to get around to his AoE or his group attack, right? Because look at all these buffs our team is getting when we're doing this group attack. This is huge, just everything it gives. So such a crazy character. And then one of the most annoying things about him is he just sits there in invis, and you can't even target him. So you have to hit him with AoEs and stuff. And he's not that squishy because he's going to have some sort of health with a lot of speed. So just a very annoying character. Doesn't need potency or tenacity or anything like that. He can't really be focused, and he doesn't really need to apply debuffs. But just very good unit. Make sure to make him fast. Maybe a little bit slower than Bosk, because Bosk is who you want to be the fastest because you want him to get his taunt out right away. Mando, he doesn't take too good of mods, really. Honestly, if you could just put him with some crit chance and everything, he'll be good. He doesn't need the most offense in the world, even though you obviously that's what you want, because he's just going to sit there and he's going to disintegrate. He's going to one-shot something, but you need to have your crit chance up for that, in which case you need crit chance, so you get it here. Or you can get it from Grief Karga. So Grief Karga and him work well together, which is kind of cool. Django's one of the ones, too, that you're probably want to take to Relic, depending on what you want his uses for. He needs to be relicked for Kenobi, I think. He needs to be relicked for somebody. But the big thing, too, if you want him to solo the Padme event, it's probably that much easier if you have him relicked. I know you could do it gear 12 if you want with good mods, but you'll need him relicked for Kenobi, too. So just depending on your situation, he could be relicked. He's very good for damage. Just kind of an annoying character. Like, this one, pretty hard nuke and anti-heal, which is very nice for certain teams, especially like if you have to take them against First Order, they do pretty well because Kylo with the anti-heal, and then also Kylo getting insta-killed. But this move too, pretty annoying. Gets max health damage here, but it's just a little bit of AoE, not the greatest. Mainly you're just going to be tapping with this or with this whenever you can set up a nuke for it. This unit overall, pretty good, but that's what makes this early game team very well. I use these bounty hunters on my main that's like 4 mil still, and it's just, this team gets the job done. I didn't put too much investment in them because one of the issues is Mando takes a lot of Chirotechs. Grief doesn't, the rest of them, not so bad, but Mando takes a lot, so I didn't get Relic to Mando, and I won't on this account either. It's just, he's very rough, you know. Late game, the bounty hunter team kind of stays relatively the same. If you notice, these 3 core are still there, even late game. Late game, though, you do put in Aura Sing because of her Omnicron. if you want to invest in it, let's see, where's it at? I never use her personally. Not this one. Or was it that one? Add whenever crit damage. No. Yeah, well, Aura Seeing has something that gives speed. I don't know where it is. Is it this? No, okay, I'm not sure. But her Omnicron is what's going to add speed to the team and make them really get going and passing stats. Phoenix Shand is there just because she hits hard, and she could be known as a Darth Vader counter. Like, this team can counter... Oh, my bad. Lord Vader, not Darth Vader. But this team can counter Lord Vader. So it's a little bit interesting for that fact, but honestly, it's too much of an investment. Like, I don't want to put Omnicron on this team unless I have my Omnicrons everywhere, especially with these new units coming out and all the units that were out before, like Starkiller and stuff, that need 3 Omnicrons. So it just has better uses. But down here, one of my most important things, literally for my account, is these pilots. Like I said earlier, this guy is just huge, and I'm going to get him to relics. I'm going to have to get this guy to relics, so my pilots are just relicked. This is something I regret. I should be working on him a little bit more, at least give him some love, because this ship is very good for me. Like, he's usually my first reinforcement in, so I definitely don't give this enough love, and I don't think it's required for Executor, but you obviously need it for the fleet. And then IG, which, yeah, I don't know. I haven't farmed him at all. He's a good ship, but my god, I don't know what to do with him outside of his ship, so that's where he's sitting. But anyways, this was kind of what I think about the bounty hunters. I think there's a lot of good things about the bounty hunters, but the biggest thing with them is they just tie into so much things. Whether it's Galactic Legends, whether it's farming for credit heist, whether it's just being another team out there for GAC for you, where early game, you can put them on defense and they cannot get through this boss. Or if it's GAC fleets and they can't get past Bosk again because he's just taunting and being annoying. The team is just so diverse and could do so much. So that's why I think one of your first, like, 3 teams, 2 teams, this is one of those teams. And the team will be useful throughout for you, so gotta love those bounty hunters. I will see you guys next time.
Always ends the same when it was me and